What was your motivation to become a fighter?
My motivation to become a fighter. Probably many things. I mean, one specifically that stands out to me is being told I couldn't do things as a girl because it was boys' sports. Like wanting to be a major league baseball player when I grew up, or wanting to wrestle on the wrestling team, wanting to play football. There was a lot of resistance growing up in sports that I loved and was interested in. So it struck a nerve, and I wanted to define the odds as a young girl, and it prepared me to be a pioneer as a fighter today.
What was your childhood like growing up?
Um, it was a mix. I had a great childhood, and I had a strong Italian family, Long Island Italian family. Really proud of our heritage and a lot of big Italian dinners and family gatherings, and and then there was some hard times in my life with my family being torn apart when I was around 12 years old, and that really kind of crushed my world, and it just put a deeper fight in me to find strength, to be independent, to fight against a lot of pains that I've endured. So I think I didn't really realize that as a child, that I developed a lot of rage and anger from some of the things I've had to go through as a kid. So subconsciously, I gravitated towards boxing, and it was a safe place for me to kind of be myself in a sense and let out all that rage and anger and kind of find some sort of peace. And it was good. I had a great life, and I don't wish anything different, because I feel like God will allow you to encounter hard moments to strengthen you, to purify you. So it's a time of training for resilience to be who He's called you to be. So He will use anything and everything to fulfill His purpose through you. So with all the good and the bad, I had a great childhood.
And tell me, when you were a professional boxer training for fights, what was your day like?
As a professional, I loved it. We would train, I would train 3 times a day, on average, 2 to 3 times a day. I'd wake up, I do my road work, then I do my boxing, then I do my strength and conditioning. And I wouldn't do that every day because you burn yourself out, but there was at least like 5 to 6 days a week where maybe 4 out of the 6 was at least two a day, and then 2 to 3 times it was a three a day. So it was just morning till night boxing.
And tell me about when you won your world championship title.
Well, the the first time, well, I did win the WBC, but I feel like the WBA. I love the WBC, but I feel like the WBA was more like, it was just more meaningful to me for the fact that I was in the Barclays Center. I was in a big arena. My name was in lights all around the arena. It was a huge crowd. I was going up against, a tougher opponent, and it was special to me because that was the first time that I seen a prophecy come to pass. Because when I was 18, I was in a church because of what I was enduring as a young kid and a lot of heartache and pain. I was looking for Jesus, thankfully, and He kept me steadfast and secure in my life. And nobody knew me in this church that I went to, and the pastor brought me up and he prophesied over me, and he told me that the world will hear my voice and my name will be in lights. And he said other things too, but in a nutshell, that's what he said. And when I in that moment when I'm walking into the arena before the fight, it like hit my spirit, like, wow, this is coming true,
Mm.
and God is so good. And so that was really a special moment. I'm like, all right, God, this is beautiful. Like, what's next? And I continued a great career, and God has done many wonders through me and for me.
Who do you believe is the greatest fighter of all time to ever walk?
Jesus. Jesus who fought for all of our sins and fought for all of our souls. But in boxing, I don't know who's the greatest of all time. There's so many greats. Um, it's funny because I love Nicolino Loche. I don't know if you know him, but I feel like he's such an amazing fighter that did not get the recognition that he deserved. I love the way he moves. So you gotta look up Nicolino Loche.
Now I gotta look him up when I get
Yeah.
home and do a video on him.
Yeah, you'll like him, and he's funny too because he's like a lot of like fighters in the sport where it's a poor man's sport, they say, right? And we don't have a union. It's sanctioned by each state. There's so many different rules and barriers in the sport. So Nicolino, I think he was from Argentina, but he was like just smoking and drinking and eating bad, but he was so good. And I've seen this. I've seen fighters do that. Even though I don't commend that type of lifestyle, because that I was very like I wouldn't touch nothing. I love being a great athlete and really taking care of my body best as possible. But the way he moved and his head move, his defense is it's out of this world. Like you want to compare him to Mayweather, I think like the way he moved was even more creative than Mayweather.
And how did you get the nickname the Empress?
Because my last name really is Napoleon. Now Napoleon Espinosa because I'm married, but yeah, I got it when I was an amateur. I didn't know like what my name should be, and then one of the like they would call me different things like Bam Bam or Superwoman or stuff like that. But then one day I was competing in the amateurs, and the ref said, "Oh, what's your name? What's your ring name?" And I was like, "I don't know." He goes, "Napoleon." He goes, "You're the Empress." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Ding! Why didn't I think of that?" So I just kept it because I felt like it was perfect.
What do you do now that you are not fighting? Now that you aren't in the ring, what do you do now?
Well, I'm a mom, so I have a daughter now, and I train people. I'm still training. I did compete again after my daughter, but now that she's growing and children need you, and I want to give her the best I can give her. So I want to give her all of me, and it takes sacrifice. So I had to make a choice to sacrifice giving my all to the sport and giving my all to my family. And it was hard because I love boxing, but I love my daughter more. And so now I'm training people and I'm training even my daughter and I'm sewing into women. So my mission right now, because I'm super passionate about women and uplifting them and motivating them and helping them find their inner strength, their virtue, the champion that they have within, because I believe we all have it, men and women. But being a woman and having to endure so many obstacles, so many barriers, so many stereotypes, I really, really, really have a passion to sew into women and build a community of women where I can teach them the sport of boxing and just teach them what it takes to have the mindset of a champion and how that can transcend into any avenue of their life, not just the sport, but anything and everything that they want to do, from being a mom to being a businesswoman to being a fighter.
If you never gotten into boxing, where would you be today?
I have no idea. I mean, I studied fashion, growing up. That's my degrees are in fashion, and I'm an artist. I love to sing. I would paint, write poetry, probably something artsy. But growing into the sport of boxing, I and seeing like who I really am and what I really love, I would have loved to have studied like sports medicine or something like that. But if I wasn't in boxing, I probably would have ended up somewhere in the fashion industry.
Yeah, right now I'm taking a personal trainer's class. Plan B. My coach always says have a plan B. Because plan A may be boxing, but you always have to have a plan to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that plan. And tell me, what do you think of the event here today?
Oh, I think it was really nice. It's always special to bring people together from the sport, and it's great that former champions come out. It's great to have an opportunity to show the local communities who your local champions are and your rising stars, and so it's great. Any time we can bring people together that are all different walks of life is a good thing. And going back to your plan B, I remember when I was coming up in the sport, I used to hear that a lot. And I remember one coach told me, if you need a plan B, then you don't believe you're going to make it. But not that you need a plan B, but boxing in I think any sport for an athlete is a short-lived career. So you definitely should, if you love boxing, from my experience, definitely go into the line of fitness or the sports medicine, personal trainer, like management, sports management, anything that kind of goes in line with what you really love. Because I realized later that I'm an artist and I love the arts, but there's something about boxing that, and I was always an athlete my whole life. I really loved it, and I wish I would have put my money into more of finding that alignment of sports and career that would go hand in hand with boxing.
That's all I have. The questions I have for you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, just thank you for your time, and boxing fans, keep thriving, keep supporting all of us, especially the women, and make sure God's first all the time.
All right, everybody. That's it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching.